Salutations, fam. This is Arim from Haltessiagaming, and we did it again. We got ourselves another topping Blue Eyes deck profile. Man, I'm still a little bit salty about how things ended. Very similar story to our Blue Eyes player in Worlds in 2016. Dominant wins, smacked everybody all day, and then in finals lost because I bricked. Oh man, it hurts. But it's just how it is. It's like, oh man, I'm salty. Because like literally game 1 was super dominant. Games 2 and 3, I didn't open a starter. I have 15 starters in my deck. I didn't open a starter. It's a 93% chance that I open a starter. Didn't open a starter. But it's just how it is. We lost in finals. But yeah, it's pretty good today. I played Blue Eyes in the tournament today. I played in 3 tournaments this week. Played in one on Thursday, one on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Thursday, I played Dragon Link. That went undefeated. If you guys want to see that deck profile, I'll post it. Just let me know in the comments. I'll post that deck profile. But basically, for the deck profile that I played, oh man, I had a dream and I woke up in a cold sweat. I was like, is that the goo? Is that the sauce? And I put it together like the day of, and I played in tournament, and it was the sauce. It was amazing. But I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer. We're going to go ahead and get into our Blue Eyes deck profile. To start things off, you know how it goes. We have 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon, 1 copy of Dragon Spirit of White, 1 copy of Alternative, and 1 copy of Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, 1 Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, and 1 copy of Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. That's it for our big dragons in the main deck. Yeah, pretty simple. Abyss Dragon searches Levy and Emperor's there to add back our banished dragons and such to help keep our engine in rotation after our stuff gets banished, because that's basically how you kill the deck, is you banish the stuff from the grave. But yeah, Emperor helps prevent that from happening, from that killing you anyway. We have the 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue, 1 copy of Master with Eyes of Blue, 3 copies of the Whitestone of Ancients, 1 copy of Keeper of the Shrine. So just talking about this for a second. This is basically what I did was with the deck was I decided to lean away from trying to do the more combo heavy stuff, and instead of trying to go into the synchros and everything and the rank 8s and whatnot, I thought about it and I was like, what can this engine do most consistently? It summons the actual Blue Eyes White Dragon. So the deck focuses on Blue Eyes White Dragon. And basically, it's like a advantage engine type of thing, where it's basically I just kind of outgrind my opponents and just snowball them. Keeper of the Shrine just kind of helps that. Basically, it's in the grave. If Blue Eyes dies, it specials itself and adds Blue Eyes back to your hand. It counts as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a dragon monster. So you can summon all your big guys with Keeper. It's a body on board to go into Halk plays, whatever. And it keeps recurring your resources. So basically, the idea is that they're going to have to commit resources to out of Blue Eyes. Everyone says oh yeah, it's easy to out Blue Eyes. No, it's not. You are going to have to go into your boss monsters. You're going to have to commit several cards to get to a boss monster to deal with Blue Eyes. And then when you factor in that it's usually not able to be targeted, not able to be destroyed by card effects, you're going to have to jump through hoops to out the Blue Eyes. And it's sure, every relevant competitive deck can out a Blue Eyes. But can you out 2? Can you out 3? Can you out 4 every single turn? Can you out them that float and then they summon other ones? A lot of times it's just they run out of cards. Main deck, Veilers. Sage searches it. It's a good hand trap right now. Tri-Brigade banishes for effect. You Veiler it. They lose their resource. They have to jump through hoops. They have to have the extender to keep playing. Lancia, same mindset. Tri-Brigade is the matchup I play against the most in tournament. So, I want to have stuff to deal with Tri-Brigade. And Lancia and Veiler also lights in Graveyard to help me make my, Legionnaire plays to extend further, breakthrough boards, things like that. That's it for the monster count. Into the spells, we have 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talents. Card's amazing. 1 copy of Instant Fusion with the Millennium Eyes Restrict, and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. 1 copy of Reborn. I cut Return the Dragon Lords because, you know, I thought like, okay, maybe I don't need Return the Dragon Lords. I was correct. I didn't miss it at all. True Lights, just really good. Being able to summon Blue Eyes every single turn. If I already have Blue Eyes, and I can just like set stuff from the deck. It's pretty good. 3 copies of Dragon Shrine, and the 1 copy of Foolish Burial. The name of this deck is 1-card starters. So we have 3 Dragon Ravine, the Foolish, the Stones. They all do the same thing. They put a Blue Eyes on board. And then, you know, 1 for 1 does the same thing. And then this is actually one of the like big changes. I don't know why I never thought about doing it. Not the 1 for 1, but this card right here. 3 copies of Dragon Ravine. This is just another 3 copies of Dragon Shrine, but this also has the added benefit of, you know, like discarding it. It helps you set up your graveyard, helps you set everything up. It puts Blue Eyes on board. It's just an extra 3 copies. And this one's not once per turn. So it's like if you open multiple, you can send a bunch of stuff. And so very often I just dump all 3 stones and just, you know, flood the field with Blue Eyes. And honestly, it wasn't bad. And now, here we go. The sauce. 2 copies of Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi. So what this card does is if you have a non-effect monster on the field or a face-down monster, if your opponent special summons a monster, you draw, like special summons an effect monster, you draw 2 cards. And non-effect monsters on the field are unaffected by monster effects. So typically what this deck does, it'll have a Blue Eyes on the field that either can't be targeted or it's unaffected. And if they special to try to like, because you're going to have to special summon an effect monster to like out the Blue Eyes. So I draw 2 cards. And that's basically what we do. We just kind of like, we trade cards with them until they run out of cards, because all my stuff replaces itself. All my stuff like generates more cards and then floats and then summons more cards. So it's just very easy for me to like run people out of resources. The 1 terraforming, and that's it for the spells. We got the 1 metaverse. One of the matches that I played, he sets up his combo and then I go, chain metaverse, activate Fist of the Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi. Go ahead. He specials, I draw 2 cards. And neat interaction in this deck. I wasn't playing it today, but it's really funny. So basically, because it makes the Blue Eyes by Dragon unaffected by monster effects, if you draw into Nibiru, you can nib your opponent, and then the Blue Eyes stays on board because it's unaffected. It's pretty crazy. We have the 1 Skill Drain. We're playing Vanilla Turbo. Skill Drain's a very powerful card. It can just win the game by itself. Yeah, Skill Drain. 2 copies of Fist of the Unrivaled Tenyi. If you have Blue Eyes on board, it's an Omni Negate, and if it gets popped, it summons Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the extra deck. Pretty good. 2 copies of the True Light, because I only have 2 copies. It was really good. Being able to make the Blue Eyes not be able to be targeted, and what really made this card shine is just keep summoning, you know, keep my resources going and things like that. Because if, say, I already had my Blue Eyes on board, and I didn't need to summon a Blue Eyes, I'll just use the effect to set something from the deck. And speaking of, I'm playing 2 copies of Ultimate Creature of Destruction and 1 copy of Destined Rivals as my cards to set off of True Light. Ultimate Creature of Destruction was very, very powerful, being able to just blank my opponents for a turn, because, you know, being able to just go chain Ultimate Creature, can be destroyed by battle. Can be destroyed by battle, unaffected by card effects. If you attack it, your stuff dies. It's like, it just blanks them for a turn. And then also, if I summon Blue Eyes, it resets itself. Destined Rivals just, you know, negates the whole board. It's basically a searchable skill drain, which is really, really strong. And so the way True Light works, because you're not only able to set cards that you don't currently control, but if a card is face down, you don't currently control it. Because by game mechanics, it's not public knowledge of what the card is. So if you have a set Ultimate Creature of Destruction, you can use True Light to set another Ultimate Creature of Destruction. And because Ultimate Creature resets itself from the graveyard, it won't be in the graveyard. So it's like, you can just kind of like, you know, just keep generating that card advantage. And then like, you know, Destined Rivals is just, it's kind of a blowout card to be able to just negate the whole board like that. It's pretty good. But that is it for the main deck. It's 45 cards because I don't want to draw Blue Eyes of Fish Dragon. That's the only card in the deck that I don't want to draw. Guess what I drew? both games 2 and 3 at finals. Yeah. Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon and no starter. Don't you love it? But moving on to the extra deck. It is very, very There's not really anything like super crazy about the extra deck. But yeah. Start thing off, we got the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon because, you know, Fist of Your Rival Tenyi, they pop it, I want to summon this and just kind of blow them out. If I have the Tenyi field spell and they pop the counter trap, then this summons and then they basically just lose because unaffected, 4,500. Like, how are you dealing with this? Oh, man. Twin Burst, I didn't summon this, but, you know, theoretically, if there was something that I needed to, like, deal with, or like maybe I wanted to like break a board or something, you can contact Fuse for Twin Burst, pretty good. 2 copies of Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This card's amazing. Like, not much to say. It's an amazing card. If you're playing, you know, Blue Eyes, you should be playing this card. It's very, very strong. The 1 copy of Yugioh Silver Dragon. I never needed more than 1. If this hit the board, I won the game every single time. Yeah, it's super powerful. Being able to just, you know, have that protection for your, you know, all your monsters. Actually, so real quick interaction with this deck that you have to know. So if you have Spirit Dragon on the board alongside True Light, for example, right? Let's say they activate MST, because you know if True Light gets destroyed, it blows up the board. Activate MST, target True Light. So what you do is you chain Spirit Dragon and you tag out into Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes, Silver Dragon, and True Light are both mandatory effects, so you can order your chain links. So what you do is, you know, it resolves, True Light gets destroyed, Azure Eye gets summoned, and then they both trigger. So you go Chainlink 1 True Light, Chainlink 2 Azure Eye Silver Dragon. Azure Eye Silver Dragon will resolve first to make it so your monsters can't be targeted or destroyed, and then True Light will resolve to blow up the board. But Azure Eye Silver Dragon is protecting them, so they don't die. So that's an important interaction to know in this deck. And I did have to do it one time. A lot of the times, like, people weren't really like outing the True Light. The one of the matches I lost, you know, because I drew kind of poorly, but he was playing Shaddolls and he used Dragon, he popped it, and I didn't have anything, so it just kind of blew up my board. But it's like my board was only like 1 monster anyway, so it didn't matter. But yeah, and then we have the Black Rose Moonlight. You go into this off Spirit Dragon, you bounce stuff back to their extra deck. Well, typically, yeah, you want to bounce stuff back to the extra deck. This helps you, like, not die to access code because, you know, they affect a gain, you go on res, you tag out into this, and you just bounce the access code back to the extra deck so you don't die. But yeah, pretty good card. The 1 Vermilion Dragon Mech, I never summon this. Typically I'll summon this if I don't have the resources to go into Dragon, like, because you know you have to discard for that effect and you can banish from grave. Also, if I'm in like a really dire situation and I need to recycle one of my stones, so I can go into this with like a Veiler or something and then banish the Veiler, pop itself, and then add back the stone, so I have my engine back in rotation. So it's like it's not bad, but it's like I didn't end up summoning it today. I never needed it. The 1 Dragon, this is really, really powerful. Draws you a card, quick effect pop. This was just so strong against Virtual World because I would say probably my honestly, most of my matches today were like really dominant. Yeah, it's like I didn't really ever feel like I had trouble winning. It's like all of my matches were just like really, really strong, except for the matches against Dogmatica and Invoke Shaddol. The first match, I'm gonna be real, I played horribly. I forgot about Keeper like literally 3 consecutive times. I could have triggered Keeper and kept my resource in rotation. I just didn't. I forgot about it. And then like literally the game that I ended up losing, literally what I did was I was like, okay, I have a play to summon the Abyss Dragon. I summoned Abyss Dragon and then forgot to trigger it. So I didn't get my Search of Levy, and I didn't trigger Keeper. Like, and then on the following turn when he like blew up the board, I didn't trigger Keeper. I didn't like literally. I didn't do anything. I didn't trigger like True Light. It's like I was mentally checked out. But yeah, it's like Dragon's really good. What? Come back here. The 1 formula you tag out into this off of Halki Fibrax. Speaking of Halki Fibrax, playing Halki Fibrax. So one of the combos that you can do in this deck. Basically, you set up Spirit Dragon, Halki Fibrax. If you have the resource for it, you set up Halki Fibrax, Spirit Dragon. Spirit Dragon tag out in the Black Rose Moonlight. You bounce a card. Halki Fabrics tags out in the Formula Synchron. You draw a card, and then Formula plus Black Rose Moonlight is 9, and you just make Croco Dragon. So you draw 2 cards, and then you have the 2 cards to pitch for the Croco Dragon pop. So it's pretty good. One Relinquished Anima. I summoned this so many times today. Nobody's playing around it. And then also, like, if they make an Appaloosa, they can't play around it because Appaloosa gives you the arrow to summon the anima. That was one of the things that I really liked about this deck. It was very easy to play through my opponent's interruptions because it's just like a lot of my stuff's not once per turn, and it's like a lot of it's just like powerful effects that can force out interruptions. So it's like this forces an interruption, alternative forces an interruption, Dragon Spirit forces an interruption, Legionnaire forces interruptions. So it's like, in addition to like me having a lot of effects that I can use that my opponent will probably want to negate, there's a lot of stuff that I have that can just force negates. So it's like very easy to play through boards, and then like after I've thrown all my cards at you, we're both out of cards, but then all my stuff floats in the end phase. So it's like I just replace all my cards. So it's like I just snowball people. It was really good. The one Link Karibo, this guy is really good. It helps you, link off your stones and things like that. But also the big thing about this card is its ability to make sure your normal summon effects go through. So like if this is in the graveyard and you normal summon Sage with Eyes of Blue, and they like Valor it or something, you chain Link Karibo, and then you special Link Karibo, and then Sage goes through. So it's like that's probably the biggest thing about this card that makes it good. The 138, I didn't summon this a single time today. I never needed it. Dingirsu. I summoned this to, to out certain things like Golden Lord when it, comes back. It's 35, can't be destroyed by card effects. So, we need to either go into Twin Burst or Dingirsu to out it a lot of times. It's like, yeah, you can kind of just wait until it goes back to 25, but I want to be able to just out your board. And Dingirsu, also protects True Light, so they can't just pop it and then blow the board. And the last card is the one Millennium Eyes Restrict for the instant fusion. Good going first and going second, being able to help me break boards, being able to help me play through interruption. Yeah, that's it for the extra deck. And now we move on to the side deck. If you've seen a lot of my deck profiles, you probably can take a guess what the first card of the side deck is, because it's the same one every single time. It is Dino Wrestler Pankratops. Third Lancia, because the only matchup I'm worried about is Tri-Brigade. And then more spice. Shout out to my boy Snow. He got us on this. 2 copies of Lullaby of Obedience. So the idea with this card, right, is that I'll activate this and I'll call it Hand Trap, right? And then they either give me a hand trap to use against them, and they'll either give me a hand trap to use against them, or they'll special a tuner to my board to help me go into Halki Fibrax. Really good card. If I know what deck I'm playing against, like let's say I'm playing against Infernoble for some reason, right? I can call Colt Wing, and then that just like messes up their entire deck, right? Against Eldritch, I'll call Golden Lord. Against, like Geist, I'll call Faker or something like that, Just being able to like, but most of the time when I activate this card, I'm calling a hand trap. Because I want either you to give me the hand trap so I can use it against you, or I want to have a tuner on board to go into Halki Fibrax. Really good card. 3 copies of Mystic Mine. So the idea behind the card was that, okay, I'm playing the Terraforming, I'm playing the Metaverse, I'm playing Field Spell deck, let's play the Mystic Mine. It helps me break boards, and it's a field spell. It was terrible. I only cited this in 1 game the entire tournament, and I forgot about it. Like, it was that unimpactful today. It's just, I never needed it, This could have been anything else, and I kind of do wish it was something else. I wish it was like maybe like 3 twins or something like that. I played against Dragoon Eldritch today. He set 5 both games. I didn't see any back row hate, and I won. Because the Eldritch matchup is super, super, super easy. You literally just kind of like throw all your stuff into their board. They cannot outground you. Because when you, like their cards replace themselves, but then your cards replace themselves, and then also remove their cards. So it's not like I'm getting a body in the end phase. I'm getting a Dragon Spirit of White, which then banishes your back row that you just set. So it's like, I can remove their engine very, very quickly, and they just can't keep up. They just can't keep up, and they run out of cards. The Wonder Raigeki, it was okay. Board wipes are good. 3 copies of Gozen Match. All my stuff is light. Against Dragoon Eldritch, he flipped up Gozen Match against me, and I was like, oh no, I am locked into light monsters. Whatever will I do? And you know, needless to say, it didn't do anything. It's like, yeah, it stopped me from like summoning Levy, but then I just like didn't search Levy. I searched Emperor instead, because like I can't summon the Emperor, but that's fine because I just used the Pendulum effect to add back my banished monsters. 3 copies of Evenly Matched. This card, oh my god, this card was amazing today. I love playing this card in decks that people aren't going to side Lancea against, because it's like, you don't side Lancea against this deck. You know, I'm not really banishing that much. It's like, I guess you Lancea me and you stop me adding a stone, like adding a Blue Eyes off stone, but it's just like, I can just summon it off Tree Light. So it's like, Lancea's not that impactful. Like, it doesn't like shut down my deck. So it's like, Evenly is not something that I'm going to get Lancea'd on. And I evenly the Dogmatic Invoke Shaddoll player, and then it was just, man. It's such a good card. It's such a good card. And it's like, because it's control deck, you don't really care if you don't kill them that turn, because it's just, you're trying to snowball them out of the game anyways. And it's just, Evenly is just so good at helping you do that. And the last card in the side deck is the 1 copy of Red Reboot. Yeah, it's another blowout card. We're just playing the blowout cards in the side deck, because that's really what we want to do. We want to, you know, break their board and then just establish our own and just snowball them out of the game. And yeah, performed really well. Yeah, not really much to say. This has been Darkslayer Arim from Haltessiagaming. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day. The stupid button never works.